What's up, everybody? We are everybody. It's Friday evening, late afternoon. It's 5 p.m., 6 p.m., somewhere around in there. Getting an early start. I was going to take a nap. That fell through. So I said, what the hell? I'm just going to get streaming tonight. We're going to be just doing stuff with the guild here, with the kinship in a little bit. But in the meantime, I'm going to be playing my lore master. Chris is here in the office with me, but I think we're going to stream, did you say tomorrow morning or Sunday morning? She says maybe tomorrow. Maybe Saturday, but definitely Sunday. So she'll be streaming for the first time with me in a long time, because I don't think Chris has streamed for about 6 weeks because she got busy with the move and then still just getting settled into the new house, so we'll see. Alright, get this set up on my phone so that I've got chat. I'm gonna have to make some coffee for sure. I'll do that shortly. Let's get this out on Discord first and foremost. Alright, live chat is up, and let's get going. Let's pick up where we left off. We had dropped Nona off to get cured by Galadriel.
It is nearly time for you to depart again.
Within the woods of Lorien, guests of Lord Celeborn can recover from their hurts and the toils of a long road. It is my hope this reprieve was of use to you, Telemar. In these dark days, no time of rest is as long as we might wish it to be. It is nearly time for you to depart again. With one motion of her lovely arm, Galadriel directs your gaze to the flets that cling to the bole of the tree. Nona has made a full recovery, as she could have, and a greater one than I expected of her. She is waiting for you at the ladder down from these flets. I have made it known that it is my will that she will be permitted free movement, within the hedges of Caras Galadhon. Show her the city of the Galahadrim, Telemar. We will speak in my garden when she is satisfied with her exploration of what this city has to offer. Okay. Have you ever seen this before? Oh, you're busy, Chris. It's the city of Lorien, where the elves live. And there's Galadriel from the movies. Yeah, this is later on. We're way up in the trees. Don't fall. But it's a beautiful place. Somebody's playing music outside. It's Friday night, which means it's yeah. Es viernes y el cuerpo sabe. Oh, what's that?
They tell me I was close to death. I remember very little of it.
Whoa, did her voice just change?
They tell me I was close to death. I remember very little of it.
So she had an Irish accent all through the first chapters, and suddenly that accent does not sound very Irish at all. Unless it's because she's sick now? The man of the town would not heal me unless I gave them my sword, but you spoke against it, and so did that man. What was his name? Horn? I should thank him for this kindness, even though he is of the horse folk, and we should not trust him too far. Talk to Hruyan, talk to Ludros, talk to Anglamel. I always get lost in this place.
This is a place of quiet contemplation.
Hurian looks at Nona dismissively, and you can tell that despite Galadriel's words, not every elf is pleased to have the Dunlending grow within the borders of Lorien. Others could admire the fountain as well, of course, Hurian finishes with a sniff. Nona admires the delicate carving of the swan fountain. Snooty elves. I assume he's up here somewhere. Bang.
We see so few visitors to Karas Galathon.
I've heard it said that Caras Galadhon is a maze like as the city of the dwarves, but it is slander as true as at least our maze is above the ground, lit by the glow of the sun and the cool glimmer of the stars. Nona looks out into the void between flets and says nothing. Now I suppose the real question is, how do we get up to this one? Probably right here. I think it's a little narrow.
The malon trees of Lothlorien are the mightiest to be found anywhere.
It was once not so, but the passage of time and the spreading of darkness has caused much that was once great to wither and diminish. So it would be with the elves were we to stay. Already we have stayed too long. Luidhurst looks sideways at Nona, but she seems not to notice. It will soon be the time of man, and who can say how that race will deal with the challenges that lie ahead? These Malons support the Telling Galahadrim, the flets in which much of the work in our city is done. Without them, little could be accomplished. I hope the same will not be said of the elves when we have departed. Nona observes the mighty Malon trees, but says nothing. Alright, now we gotta get back to Galadriel. Hope you don't get vertigo. Question is, how do I get in here? Looks like there's an entrance. You've discovered Galadriel's garden. Oh, to have a garden such as this.
I hope you enjoyed your respite.
I did, thank you very much. Hey, Eric Mark. Spoke to you once of the danger that awaited our mutual friends on the road. Their circumstances are hidden to me, but I've seen enough in my mirror to worry. Those few of the wise who know of their errand have known a simple truth since they departed. As they move further south, they will move closer to a point of a decision that can delay but not avoid. They cannot leave the Great River without making this decision. Do they continue south and east of Mordor, or do they make the pass through the cities of men and therefore take a longer road to the fire? Ringbearer must go to Mordor, but who will go with him? I fear for the company, Telemar. Peer into my mirror and see if any of these visions for you are as troubling as they are for Galadriel. Ooh, we're gonna go look into the mirror. Oh, we get to play as Frodo? Ooh. Horses can indeed move sideways. Crab walking. Alright, we're gonna pause here briefly because I need to get some water going for coffee, so I'll be right back. Horse drifting. Huh. Alright, I gotta remember to go get my coffee here in a minute.
We always knew that the Company of the Ring would face the difficult decision of what road to take. We simply did not know how soon.
Telemar, also known as Frodo Baggins. Oh, this is so cool. We're on the shores of the Anduin. Look, 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 look. Oh, oh, oh my god, that's so cool. Look at that screenshot. That's... There's some ruins there. Alright, hopefully that's a good screenshot. I'm gonna take another one here. That rock is right in the way. It is a nice way to get a Friday night in. And welcome, Liam, by the way. Finally get your own Discord going. It's always a good thing. Man, I have a stray hair that's just driving me nuts right now. If I can find it. Pulling that boy. Alright. I wonder if I need to record this. I am going to record this just in case this is its own thing. Because if it is, and this is like, if I'm going to play through and like Boromir attacks me and everything, I definitely want to have this as its own session. So I get to play as Frodo, it looks like. Look at this. We came down the Anduin. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. We've got the brothers statues over there. We're here with the party. Nice big campfire going. God, what a scene. What does Frodo look like? Oh, not too bad. Gimli. Man, I'm so jealous of... Look, he's got Lorien. Oh, whoa. So everybody now has... I just realized this, because look, they've all been to Lothlorien now. They all have the Lorien cloaks. And the brooches, however you want to call them. That's so cool. Quiver is a little funky there, Legolas. Oh, look at that sword. The reforged sword. Are the clouds moving? They are indeed. Alright, let's talk to Aragorn. Well, Frodo, the choice is upon us at last. In Rivendell, you are appointed the bearer of the great burden, and this company has escorted you through the wilderness, beneath the mountains, and along the great river. All of us have done so in friendship and with an understanding of the errand's great need. But now the path splits. Boromir has said from the beginning that his road leads to Minas Tirith and the war against the shadow that surely must be coming. But that way is not the way to the fire, and it is the fire that your burden must be carried. What is the fate of the company? Do we go to Boromir's city, to Minas Tirith, or do we cross the river and make for the land of shadow? What should we do? Does no one wish to speak? Well, Frodo, you are the bearer, and you must choose your own way. I cannot advise you in this. What is your decision? You need time to decide? I understand. It is no easy decision. None of these have been easy decisions. If only Gandalf were here. I have tried to play his part as best I can, but I am not he, and the ways of wisdom are shut to me. I am sorry I cannot help you with this decision, Frodo, but it is yours to make, and I do not want to sway your mind one way or the other. You shall have an hour, Frodo, and we shall leave you alone to decide. We will stay here, and you will walk as you will, but do not stray out of call. There are orcs about. Walk northwest of Parth Galen, so you may be alone with your thoughts. Thoughts of Elrond rise unbidden in your mind. The ring you bear is the one, the ruling ring sought by Sauron above all else. The evil he could work with it would be uncurable. It must be destroyed. There are those who would use the ring and not destroy it. The temptation to use the ring, even for good, is overwhelming. That is its power and its danger. Liam asks, when is the audiobook narrated by me for Echoes of the Past coming? That's a good question. That's a lot of work. Walk further west. Thoughts of Galadriel rise unbidden in your mind. Some rings there are that Sauron never touched, and they were not used for evil. They were used for growth and prosperity, and much beauty was wrought with these. The 3 elven rings belong to this worthwhile group. You remember the look of sadness on Galadriel's beautiful face when she spoke of this in Lothlorien. If you fail your quest, Frodo Baggins, the workings of the 3 will be laid bare before Sauron, and he will control all. But if you should succeed, even then there will be little happiness for elves. We will diminish, and all that was wrought with the 3 shall fade. No choice is free from sadness for my people, Frodo. But Galadriel Lorien would have happened what should happen. Even should it mean all her good works in this Middle-earth disappear and are forgotten. Goodbye, Frodo. I suppose I'm going to climb the stairs to the southwest so you may be alone in your thoughts. Southeast, it says. I suppose I could just do weekly readings. Like each week read a chapter and then just over the weeks. How many chapters are in that book? 33? Man, that's still a big undertaking. Because I remember when I read the first few chapters just to test it on YouTube months ago. When I first started the channel, I guess a few years ago I did that. And those chapters took like an hour to read through. What's up, Brian? Alright, I gotta go check on my coffee, see if it's boiling. I've had quite a few people ask for audiobooks, so maybe that's something I can do at some point in time. My water's still not boiling, so I'll go back to that here in a minute. Thoughts of Gandalf rise unbidden in your mind. Few know of the inner strength of hobbits as I do, Frodo Baggins. Many, even among the wise, would think this task too much for you. But I have seen the bravery of a Baggins when put to the test, and I know you will do what you must. The memory of Gandalf's warm smile fills you with deep regret. Yes, there is a sadness on any difficult road. You must prepare for war if you are faced what must lie ahead. Your friends are dear to you, but you must be prepared for this truth, Frodo Baggins. Some of them may not return from this quest. If that is why you delay, the quest is already lost. You must decide, Frodo. Thoughts of Bilbo rise unbidden in your mind. Oh, Frodo, my lad, what have we gotten ourselves into? Trouble and bother! Your memory of the old hobbit makes you smile in spite of yourself, and you realize how badly you miss him. Something had to be done, Frodo. All these important people with their endless meetings and councils weighing important matters when all it needs is the application of some good hobbit sense. You at least need to go to Mordor, Frodo, my boy. Isn't it so? As long as you have the ring, it is your burden to bear, as it was mine. Merry and Pippin and Sam, they would be fine. The others would watch out for them. If you bear the ring away, as it is your task to do, our friends will be in less danger. It will not be easy, Frodo, my boy, but it would be for the best. As long as our friends accompany you, their lives are in danger. You don't want that. Best to go alone to Mordor. Aragorn and Boromir are strong men. They will take care of our friends. Gimli and Legolas will watch out for them as well. Sam will not understand, but in time he will forgive you. What did Elrond say in Rivendell? That it was perilous to study the hearts of the enemy as Saruman did? That must be because they can corrupt even the purest of hearts, no matter his intention at the outset. You feel a presence behind you. Alright, I gotta check out my coffee once again before we talk to Boromir. I'll have to do some creative editing with this. Cut all these pauses out. Frodo, there you are. I was worried about you. I know you said you wanted to be alone, Frodo, but you're simply too important to go wandering alone. If Aragorn is correct in his guess, it means the orcs have already crossed the river. They could be in the woods even now. May I stay and speak with you now that I have found you? Back at camp, everything is endless arguments about where we should go. But you and I could decide much easier. With two, it would not be a tumult of voices. Yes, you hear the wisdom in it. I'm glad, Frodo. I had feared you would not wish to speak to me, but it lightens my heart to know that you respect the wisdom of Gondor. For Gondor is where the greatest strength of men can be found, and it is where the Dark Lord's gaze is most drawn. If you were to come to Minas Tirith with me, we could protect Gondor. What do you say, Frodo? No? Or why do you resist the course of wisdom? These elves and wizards speak only of hiding and sneaking, and would have us destroy the very thing we need to defeat Sauron. Why do you listen to them and not to me? It is my people who will pay the price for the failure of this foolhardy errand. My people will pay, not yours, hiding far away in some hidden dell where the enemy will never find them if he even chooses to look. But he looks to Gondor, yes he does, and he will kill its people, and they will look to me and ask, why was I not able to protect them? And I will say I had this chance, and I let it slip away. I know it is a heavy burden for you, Frodo. You are so small and weak. What if the ring had come to a man, a strong man of Gondor? Perhaps you could lend me the ring, let me use it to save my people, and then I will give it back. No, how could you say that? You have the very thing we need to defeat the Dark Lord, but you refuse to use it. You run knowingly to your death, and you bring with you the only hope we ever had of surviving this war. The ring should be mine. Give it to me. Give it to me, you foolish halfling. You have no right to it. If you will not give it to me, I will take it. I will take it by force. A madness has taken Boromir. Give it to me. I'm putting on the ring. Woohoo! What? Where did you go? Cursed halfling! Escape from Boromir, Frodo. Run up the stairs to the east, to the summit of Amon Hin. Run, Frodo, run! Up the steps! Wait, I was doing my Forrest Gump voice instead of Bilbo's voice. Boromir may not be able to see you, Frodo, but other things might. Frodo, you do not know your danger. Climb to the summit to escape. Sauron can sense the presence of the ring. He searches for you. You will stumble blindly to the summit of Amon Hin. Your heart is gripped with a sudden feeling of terror. You sense malevolent presence searching, searching. You see the eye? You see the eye? Sauron senses the ring.
Take it off! Fool! Take it off! Take off the ring!
You manage to remove the ring. Now you know what you must do. The terror of your recent experience is still with you, but you conjure the kindly face of Gandalf from your memories to try and fight back the dread. You can almost hear his voice as clearly as when he spoke to you thusly in the Library of Rivendell. There are a great many dangers facing Middle-earth, Frodo, and your ring is responsible, even indirectly, for all of them. The orcs of the Misty Mountains stir, and Lorien is threatened with fire. The horsemen of Rohan fight back the wolves of Isengard. Corsairs put to sea from Harad, and endless armies march from the east. The Mountain of Fire is aflame, and the Dark Lord's forces are in motion. There are men who stand against him, men like Boromir, son of the Steward of Gondor, and your companion. He and the men like him will fight, for as long as they are able, but when all is finished, it seems to me there will simply be men, and for how long can men stand against such evil? No, Frodo, I fear that when all is reckoned, it will come down to one hobbit after all, and the strength he himself can bring to bear. Perhaps that is always the way it was meant to be. So that's a cool little instance. I wonder if it drops us back into Galadriel's garden, or if we go back to the riverside with the rest of the Fellowship. Loading, please wait. So it puts us back here at Galadriel's garden. Still, good times.
This is one possibility among many. It is a troubling one, to be certain.
They may have need of your help. I want you to travel south along the River Anduin, Telemar, and see what has befallen our mutual friends. None of the visions I have seen in the waters give me any hope that they have avoided the dangers of which they walk. If you can aid them, even in the smallest way, it may be enough. Nona should go with you, if she still desires to do so. I have known her for just a short time, but I do not think she wishes for anything but to adventure with you. Let her be an aid to you on a dangerous road. That was a really cool little instance. And that's just one of the many reasons I love LOTRO. Lots of fun little stuff like that. Alright, my coffee's officially ready now, so I'll be right back. Frodo's steel knees. But you know what I'm gonna need, Chris, is like a... Alright, we're back from that. Let me answer some YouTube stuff. Davin says, I was never good with whole milk. He says, I was never a fan of cottage cheese until Jessica added grilled sausage, onion, and bell peppers to it. Man, that sounds absolutely freaking amazing. That's way too Game of Thrones. That's funny. Katrine, this game is based on the books, so it has all the stuff from the books. It has so much stuff. It's got all the stuff from the books. So yeah, it's got all kind of things like that. It's not based on the films at all. So that's one of my favorite parts about this. Even though there is some visual inspiration from the films, it's very much based on the books. So you get all of the locations and the characters and the lore from the books, not the movies. So this is as faithful as an adaptation as I've ever seen.
You will need a guide to bring you to the Falls of Rauros.
Few of my people ever travel that far. No, do not shake your head in frustration. There is a guide who will suffice. His name is Corodan, and he is the elder brother of Sigilith. Galadriel smiles sadly. Yes, I see you remember our fierce champion. Without her twin knives and the skill with which she wielded them, the efforts of the Golden Host might have come to naught. Her death in the Battle of the Tower is cause for grief in all who knew her. You will find her brother is cut from similar cloth, but if Corodan shares her ability, he does not share her temperament. Find him on Telain Neduil, on the eastern side of Caras Galadon. Tell him you need him as a guide along the Anduin. He is not called the River Walker for naught. He is more familiar with these lands through which the Anduin flows than any elf in Lorien. You know, I should totally be using my elk since I'm in the Tree City. Oh, so many stairs he ran up. That's a good point, Aragmar. Is he up another flet? What did I miss? Oh, there's a stair right here.
The lady has spoken to me about this, and I would refuse her nothing.
But there is another reason I would help you. Corridon looks at you, his eyes shiny with a curious look of gratitude. You were a friend to my sister Sigilith in Mirkwood. When the Hidden Guard and the Golden Host journeyed to the fastness of Dol Guldur, you fought alongside Sigilith. How many times did you save her life, or she yours? I do not know, but I am certain it was more than once. I wish that the tides of fate had swept the two of you together during that final assault on the tower rather than apart, for had the two of you been together on the stairs, perhaps you would have returned from Mirkwood. But it is not to be. This is the way of things. I would be honored to accompany you south along the Anduin. Sigilith's friends are mine as well, and we will need supplies, though. Boats and limbus and paddles. Speak to Bordris and Fanglif about acquiring such things as we will need. Bordris will be on the Telling Galatium, and Fanglif will be near the surrounding hedge beneath Telling Gloroloth, not far from the entrance to Caras Galadhorn. Hmm.
The Lady Galadriel is wise to send Corridon as your guide.
Alright, so she's gonna help. I'm not reading their dialogue because it's basically this just them accepting the quest. And it's not moving the dialogue forward. I wonder if I should bank while I'm here. Possibly. I never did check to see if there was that, the robes that I accidentally sold. I don't know if those are available on the broker or not. Don't fall off, don't fall off, don't fall off.
I will give you enough lembas and other foodstuffs for 2 weeks.
Perfect. Alright, well before we get sidetracked, let's check the auction hall. I've never been to Gondor yet in this game, Katrine. I've only made it as far as like midway through Rohan, so I can't speak to what they did for Minas Tirith. I'm guessing there's no silk, because I don't see anything. Nope. Alright. I totally just fell. Oh my god, that could have been really bad. Short little fall is not going to kill me, but that would have been a really big fall. I don't know what Chris is making in there. I made coffee and I asked her if she wanted any, and she disappeared and ran into the kitchen. I don't know what's she cooking in there. Slight haze around the lighting is great here. Whoever did the lights says, oh yeah, Katrine, anytime it's Lothlorien, also Mirkwood. Mirkwood has like a foggy look to it as well, so that nothing ever really appears in great detail, and things that are at a distance are covered in fog. It's very well done. I'm really glad that you noticed that. There's some really good world building in play here. I'm glad you had the eye for detail.
The last time I traveled south, orcs were gathering on the river bank.
We may need to face them. Unfortunately, I lent my bow to Fimloth at Haldoreth on my return from that journey. Perhaps we can stop by her encampment when we depart, and I can recover my bow from her. Yes, we totally can. Alright, now we gotta go find Nona and tell her that we're ready. And I'm really interested to see if she no longer has the Irish accent, because when I talked to her earlier, I swear it sounded like her accent was gone and it's a new voice actress doing her voice. We're gonna go confirm. Not gonna let me get over that earlier. Oh bother. Near the house of Celeborn. Is she up top? She must be. Alright, where's the ramp up? Ah, there's Nona.
Wadu's sword is thirsty for more adventure.
That's definitely a different voice actress, I'll be damned. Alright, well, now I have to try to remember this girl's voice. Wadu's sword is thirsty for more adventure as well. If we come across more Easterlings or their fell ally as we did in the swamps, I'll be more than ready than I was last time.
This land of elves is a long way from Enidwaith. A long way from my people.
It's a slight Irish accent, but not as thick as the girl before. I am grateful for the healing arts of Galadriel and her people, and for the lady's willingness to help me to see her city. But there is something strange about this place, and I must tell you the truth. It is no place for me. I want my feet upon the ground and my foes in front of me. This land of elves is a long way from Enidwaith, a long way from my people. I am ready to depart. Perhaps things will feel more familiar to me as we journey south along the river. Alright, you're automatically going to travel to Halderith on the Great River when you accept this quest. Alright, we're going to pick up the bow.
I lent my favorite bow to Fimloth, and now she has lost it.
Uh-oh. Corridon lowers his voice and turns to his apologetic friend. No, Fimloth, I'm not upset. If those orcs were as numerous as you report, you were right to flee. A bow is only a bow, and the lives of my friends come first. I will search the woods of Thinglead for the orc that picked it up as you escaped. Are you of mind to join the hunt, Telemar? Your Dunlaning friend with me has already agreed to fight the orcs as well. Perhaps we can make a game of it. The first to find my lost bow will be the victor, but I should be happiest of all to have the bow back in my hands. Oh, totally. Yeah, very true, Katrine, very true. Alright, we need to kill 6 orcs. And I wish I remember where I found the camps earlier, because that would make it a lot easier. But, as it is, we'll just run around and kill some orcs. Whoosh. Die, stinking orc, die. Dun, dun, dun. There's a camp, but there's not an orc camp. Two more. Wonder who's gonna win the competition.
You did not find the bow. Nona and I did not either.
The orc that seized it must have already left this area. Pity. This spare bow does not fire as accurately as my other did, but I am still a deadly shot. Do not worry on that score. Did you know how dangerous Nona is in combat? I did not think the Dunlendys were more than barbaric hill-dwelling men, but she is a deadly warrior indeed. I underestimated her, and will not do so again. If we are surprised by orcs as we journey further along the Anduin, I would be glad to have her along.
Whatever orc took the bow must have fled the area.
The orc is lucky it did, for its hunters numbered 3. 2 elves and a fierce warrior of the Oakluth. Fight alone could have saved it. Flight alone. That's what she said. Flight alone could have saved it. I'm sorry Coradon does not have his favourite bow, but I still enjoyed the hunt. Do you think you could humour me on one count, Telebar? I understand we must hurry, but it should not take long.
Let us take a detour to Stongard, so I can thank Horn.
He spoke on my behalf, and when you suggested that I be taken to the Elfwoods for healing... You interrupt Nona at this point and tell her that it was actually Horn's idea to take her to Lothlorien. A confused look crosses her face. Really? Well, that is one more thing for which I should thank him. And that is what I want, Telemar. A brief detour at the outpost of Stangard so I can give him my thanks. Perhaps you can have him meet me here. I do not think we'd be welcome once again within their walls. Stangard. So let me ride there. Is there a horse here? Yep.
How can I be of service?
Swift travel.
You were looking for Horn. Good. Take him with you.
Take him and be gone. You will find him up the hill. That doesn't sound good. Oh! You scared me, Chris. Where'd you go to? Did you get coffee? Sudor. Sudor. It is hot outside.
How is the Dunlending girl? Did she survive?
You tell Horn that the healing arts of Galadriel were sufficient, and that Nona has come to Thinglad and wishes to thank him in person for his kind words and actions. Oh, I see. I am glad. Horn seems conflicted about something, and when you ask him if everything is all right, he sighs heavily. It seems there is no place for me anymore, Telemar. I am no longer welcome in Stangard. My fellows feel that I have been somehow tainted by stepping foot within the Elfwoods, and by speaking on behalf of a Dunlending. Well, they no longer trust me. They want me to leave by sunrise tomorrow. And you ask if there's anything you can do to help. Well, I do not have many possessions. If you bring me my harp and my writing supplies, I should be ready to go. My harp is in the tavern, and my writing supplies are in Wada's house, where I have been staying. Cool, so we're going to have another traveling companion on the road south. Oh, I should sell while I'm here.
It is wise for wanderers to equip themselves well.
Don't sell the hides, because I need those for later. Don't sell the text. I should probably keep a hold of the soil too, because I'm getting to the point where I'm going to need Just send that to my cook. Sparkling dust? Which is the tavern. That's the tavern. There's his writing supplies. Oh, no, this is Wadu's house. Sorry, Wadu's house, not the tavern. It's a nice little house. Hang on, I gotta go back in here. I wanna... So we got a stack of wood over there. We got a fireplace with a bed right next to the fireplace. Okay. Must get cold here? Some barrel hoops and barrels. What's upstairs? Nothing. It's a single abode. Ooh, I like that tapestry. Very simple structure. What's up, Teddy C? Thank you very much. I appreciate the comment. Thank you so much. Alright, I'm gonna go get his harp, which is somewhere down over in here. Oh, Katrine. I would love 4 degrees. It was. I'll tell you how hot it is outside right now. So yeah, it's warm here, very warm. I like cold weather, but I'm also Scandinavian. My great-grandmother was from Finland. So my whole family side is from Finland, and then the other side is Scottish and German. So I'm a white man, obviously. I'm Scandinavian, so I like the cold weather. I melt in the heat, which is why I'm sitting in an air-conditioned office, because outside, 'tis hot. Yeah, even Chris is complaining the last couple of days because she was born here and she's accustomed to the heat. But even she has been like, oh my God, it's really hot. The good thing is that the hottest months of the year are April and May. I think what is the average temperature here? I think the average, it looks like, is around 30 Celsius is the average. With kind of March, April, and May getting up, and then getting up to like 35 to 40 in April and May. But the rest of the year, it's like 30. 30C, which is about 83 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's like 80, 85 degrees here year round, so it's pretty warm. There is no winter time here. We just moved here, so we moved here during the hottest time of the year. But it is absolutely beautiful countryside. Very lush. I don't really know. I don't think I've ever paid attention to what it's considered as. It's like a tropical lowland, maybe? But it's rolling hills, lush forests, lots of rivers. The humidity's pretty high. It's been about 55%, 60% humidity the last few days, but when it rains, it gets up to like 90%. Yeah, Katrine, I 100% agree. 15 to 20 is perfect. I actually keep my AC in the room. I like it about 22 is pretty good. But outside, I like sweaters. I like to wear a sweater. So yeah, 15 to 20 is... But like I said, I'm willing to put up with the heat because...
I am not welcome in Stangard, but where can I go?
the house is paid for, so, you know, pros and cons. By order of Theoden King, I am not to return to Rohan until my terms of service in Stangard is finished. Horn looks uncomfortable. Where are you traveling, Telemar? Could you use another companion on the road? I do not wish to intrude, but I believe my place with you and the girl for whom I gave up... Well, it was no life I gave up. I only did what was right, though my fellows failed to see it. Ah, you tell Horn that he is welcome to travel with you. As far as he will. Woohoo! We got another traveling companion. Yeah, it was nice. Mexico City had like 7,200 feet elevation. So it's pretty
Your
nice.
aid is
year
welcome,
round.
friend.
Let me go to Brown Lands really quick just to turn this quest in. Alright, I have a quest here to turn in. This is a random side quest.
What brings you to these lands? Welcome and well met, my friend.
We're back to Halderith, which means we're gonna go Stangard first. Dun, 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 dun. I did not record a video for tomorrow. I just realized that. I've already got Monday's videos pre-recorded because we're starting the Mondays in Middle-earth series on Monday, so I've got that one already done, which is The Hobbit. I've been reading through the on Pipeweed and of Hobbit section of The Lord of the Rings last couple of nights, so I could probably pre-record next Monday's episode, but I gotta come up with something for tomorrow. Where do you live again, Katrine? Is it Iceland or... I think it was Iceland. I could be wrong. Man, Man, 20 for me is like, I lived in Cancun for 8 years, Erne, and Cancun is exactly like South Florida. It's exactly like the Gulf Coast. It was pretty hot. This is, I would say, it's a little hotter. It's a little hotter here than it gets in Cancun because we don't have the coastal breeze. So we're sort of in a we're on the edge of a river, so it's not horribly bad here. I say it's not horribly bad. It's hot outside for sure. Like I went out. That's why if you watch the short this morning that I put on YouTube, I got up at I woke up at 5-ish, 5:30-ish, something like that. I was outside at 5:45 with a shovel doing yard work from 5:45 until about 7:30, 7:45, and by 7:45 I was just drenched in sweat.
Your aid is welcome, friend.
Alright, from here we can go back to... Why don't I have... Oh, it's Thinglet, isn't it? Yeah, it was Thinglet. Alright.
This confirms what I suspected about the Horse Lords. Cruel even to their own.
And not deserving of our sympathies. I will speak with Horn, thank him for his words on my behalf, and give him my sorrow that he has suffered for me. But I will also tell him that he is better off now, and need shed no tears for his lost fellows. We will be ready to leave when Corridon says we should leave. Speak with him when you are ready to go.
Our band of companions grows. We will still fit in the one boat, but it will not be comfortable.
I do not think we should recruit any more companions, Telemar, unless you fancy swimming alongside the boat. I'll be ready to continue. That was a pretty good joke, Corridon.
Let us go to the boat together.
I want to have a good seat and a comfortable place to rest my arms as we paddle.
I have journeyed on the great river often, and know its swirls and eddies like no other elf.
That was a very quick animation sequence.
The river Anduin is as familiar to me as my own shadow, but it is still a journey of some days. We must stop here for the night.
What's up, Piano and Salmon Fire? Horn has already seen to the fire, so now we may sup and take some rest before the night watches begin. We will leave in the morning, at first light. It is not good to travel further south on Anduin at the evening unless the need is considerable. The waters become treacherous the nearer you get to San Geber. The Elf Queen was right to send this guide with us, Telemar. He knows the waters and knows how to keep a boat afloat, which is more than the daughter of Suvok knows. Were it up to me, I would lead us south on dry land with springy turf underfoot and no fear of foundering. Nona lowers her voice, a rare event for the Dunlending woman. The boat is not large enough to keep us from speaking, Telemar, but as you saw, the Horse Lord managed to avoid addressing me in any way once we were on the river. If he has a grievance with me, tell him to air it so I may respond appropriately, with words or with Water's sword. I've become tired of his ability to look all around him but not in my direction, whatever direction that happens to be. Haha, is this a love story brewing? Are they acting like little children? You are fortunate to have friends among the elves, Telemar. I would not want to make this journey without a guide, and Corridon appears to know what he is doing. But it is not seemly for a man of Rohan to mingle with elves as you saw in Stangard. Of his kind my people have little to say but this: long-lived and dangerous. They have more to say of the folk of Dunland, but none of it is kind, and I will not disturb the girl's ears with any of it. I regret Nona's ill welcome at Stangard when she had need of aid, though I understand its root. Her people and mine have a long and unhappy history. I have no quarrel with her personally, but our shared friends and duties make us allies, nothing more than that. I have some time before we should begin the Night Watch's Telemar. Would you find some tale-telling agreeable? I find that the weaving of a good story among companions around a fire can be a pleasant way to pass the time. Have a seat and listen. I will begin. Perhaps our companions will have a tale to share as well. Well, I'm glad you could make it as well, Piano. ¿Cómo? Ok. Hablando con la estrella. Oh, that's right. Today was April Fool's Day. I do enjoy DMing, yes. Although I'm not gonna lie, it's been a long time since I've been able to just play as a player, because I almost always end up DMing for the groups. What do I want to tell them of? The Fords of Eisen. I would be pleased to hear this tale, and I'm sure our companions will be well. I've heard little what goes on beyond the mountains. You speak of fighting alongside Prince Theodor at the Fords of Eisen. You speak of his valiant last stand and of Morflack's death at the hands of Elfhelm. Morflack. Oh yeah. The orc that captured me. Ah. Horn's going to tell us a tale of King Fengel of Rohan, the grandfather of Theoden King. Yeah, I would really like to be a player, to be honest with you, but it's really hard to find groups that like to stay together and play for long periods of time. And I don't like to do one-offs. I really don't. Like if I'm gonna do a campaign, I want to do a 6-month, 8-month campaign. I want to do it every single week. And I have zero patience, like literally, I have zero patience for people who say that they're going to commit and then 2 or 3 weeks into it, they stop showing up or they have reasons why they can't be there. It's like, nah, if you're going to, as an adult, if you're going to make a commitment to something, you should stay to that commitment. And unless there's an emergency, you should be showing up and abiding by that commitment. So that's why I don't really join a lot of campaigns. And I'm very, very cautious of the people that I do my campaigns with, because I want to make sure that my time's not wasted, and I also don't want to waste anybody else's time. So we have a very, very, very good group that meets on Sunday nights, and that is a group that was curated. They're very good people. I've become friends with all of them, and it's pretty awesome to be able to play with those people every Sunday night. And I mean, we've been going for 5 months now, I think, and we basically, I haven't we haven't talked about this completely publicly yet, but like we have a it's a partnership of sorts, which is something that has grown out of a friendship that turned into something more. But now that we've wrapped up the Lost Mine of Phandelver, we're getting into the Weave in the Void campaign. So we're going to be starting our own world homebrew campaign for our own setting, which is that some of you know this. If you're new here, you might not know this, but that world map behind me is the world of the Weave in the Void. And I actually just today, I haven't put it out on YouTube yet. I should go do that while we're sitting here talking about this actually, but I just spent the last 3 days doing the first art pass for our 5th edition source book, getting all of Christina's artwork into the book. You want to come say hi real quick, or are you busy? It's all good. putting all of Christina's artwork, and Nathan Napalm's been doing a lot of the, he's been doing all the character art, so I've been putting what he's got in the book. We've still got a couple more months until we're publishing. We're publishing in June, so I've only got about 2/3 of the art finished right now. I've still got more art from Nathan, more art from Christina, but I just did the first pass for that today, and it looks really, really good. So on Sunday nights, we're still meeting, even though we're done with the Lost Mine of Phandelver campaign. We're doing our tabletop tidbits, and we're doing a few weeks of that, and then we're rolling into boot camp for the Weave in the Void, which is we're going to be creating the party on air. We're going to be coming up with all their backstories and the reason for the group existing, the name of the group, all those things. We're going to be going through the Adventurer's Guidebook, the source book, explaining all the lore and all the setting of our world, getting people familiar with it and ready and following along with the adventures of those characters as we create them from scratch. Because a lot of the times when you watch a live stream, there might not be all of that nitty-gritty stuff where you get to see the group coming up with the ideas for the characters and writing the backstories. We're going to be doing all that live on Twitch. So that doesn't happen here on my YouTube as an FYI. That happens on twitch.tv/Weave and Void on the Weave and Void Twitch channel. And for those of you who want to take a look at things, go over here. I'm going to drop this link. This is to our Patreon page where you can just see all the screenshots and stuff like that. That's the it's a 5th edition campaign setting. We also have a point-and-click adventure game, so if any of you ever played King's Quest or Quest for Glory back in the day, there's a free demo you can download right now of our point-and-click game. My brother and I are going to be live streaming. I think on Sunday we're going to be live streaming an update to show people some of the progress that's been made on the point-and-click game. And of course there's the book chapters, which are like Dragonlance, which get published twice a month. And we just did a big compilation post a couple days ago, I think. Let me go find when I did that. Yep, that's this post right here. I'll drop this in link for anybody who wants to go do some reading tonight. That post right there is the first 15 chapters of book 1. And while we're sitting here talking about it, I'm going to go over to the community page for my YouTube channel. I'm going to post the screenshot from today, because I pushed that out on Discord and my personal social and all the social for Weave and Void, but I hadn't done it here yet. And we're going to be launching our Kickstarter for the hardback versions of the books in, I think, late July, early August. So for those of you who want to take out a screenshot, if you haven't already seen it on the Weave in the Void social media, I just put it on my community tab here on YouTube. Screenshot of the first, the first 8 pages of the source book? Yeah, it's the first 8 pages with all the artwork in place. That's what I've been working on for the past 3 days. Which channel? Renfail? Like the name of my character name? If that, I think that's your question, Piano, perhaps? Or the project, the Weave in the Void? Because there's sometimes confusion about both of those. Yeah, yes to which one? Sorry. Renfail? Okay, yeah. Okay, perfect. I was just double checking. Renfail is the character, it was a D&D character that I created years and years ago with my buddy Ted when he was DMing. I was 19, I think, when we did that campaign. And we played, I met him at the inline for the Phantom Menace. I was there in full costume as Qui-Gon Jinn. I actually dropped a photo of myself in full costume when I was 19 years old in the Discord the other day. But my buddy was as Darth Maul, and then he and I went, and we were there the night before. We camped out in the parking lot. We thought we were going to be the first people there for Star Wars. And there was this other guy there he had a dog, and he had a camper and a cooler, and he was smoking weed and grilling hot dogs, and ended up becoming really good friends with him, my buddy Ted. And he was huge into D&D, and so I played with him, and we played like a 2-year campaign. And the character of Renfail was the one of 2 characters that I played during that campaign. I played Renfail, the half-elven ranger, and Karis, his cousin, who was an elven assassin mage. Really, really, really fun campaign. So that is where the character of Renfail came from. Misha, what's up? Oh, you know what? It's probably getting time to play LOTRO with the rest of the community, isn't it? I kind of got lost track of time here talking to everybody on the stream. I got 30 minutes. Did you miss that, Misha? So the short version was it was just a character that I created for my buddy Ted's campaign, and when I was 19, and I played that character for 2 years. The story of Renfail, the character, is quite complex. This was back in the days of when you could do D&D without hurting people's feelings. The campaign started off pretty brutally. The character of Karis was she was coming down the river in a boat to meet Renfail in town, and the boat captain, basically him and his crew, broke into her cabin and had their way with her, and it was not good. And she got to town and basically killed everyone in revenge. And I had to my character Renfail, the half-elf ranger, had to break her out of jail, and it was not good. But basically, yeah, it was the character of Renfail was something I created for Ted's campaign, and that name just came to me. It was just a random name, and I had so much fun playing that campaign for 2 years that the character just stuck with it. And Ted has said to this day that the campaign he ran with me all those years ago in '99 was like the...
Behold, the Argonath, the pillars of the kings.
He still thinks it's one of the best campaigns he ever ran, I should say. We had such good fun on that campaign. So the character of Renfail started off as a D&D character, and then I just used that character name for everything since then.
They are not my kings, but there is still something majestic about the twin statues. Friends of yours came this way. Friends bearing a burden of some malice.
Okay. Horn speaks quietly, for what he has to say is meant for your ears alone. We spoke of a great many things on the boat, and I do not begrudge you speaking in generalities, but you told me enough to know your errand here is important. Whatever your friends carried, it was sought by orcs, and perhaps others as well. We need to find out what happened to these friends of yours, and if their burden has been lost. He now raises his voice to include the Rohirrim man standing nearby. This man saw a boat drifting down the river and hailed me from the shore. His name is Framric, and he has come with a party of Rohirrim from the Wold. I would have us help his people if they desire our help. First, we must prepare our own camp.
I do not trust this Framric, but Horn wants us to help him.
Alright.
The Lady Galadriel entrusted me with knowledge of our true mission.
Alright, we have to gather some sticks, but we're going to do this at another point in time because I need to switch over to my other characters and get prepped for fellowship groups tonight with kinship. Alright, Piano, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to... Katrine, no. Ted taught me one of the most important lessons I've ever learned as a DM, in my opinion, which is never kill off the main characters, um, player characters. You can provide them with great dire circumstances, but never kill them off. So no, those characters never fell. Although never died anyway. But Renfell did fall from the good side. He started off as a chaotic good um, ranger, and over time became chaotic evil because of the actions of his cousin, who was chaotic evil. And basically, as the campaign went on, she chose to cut out her eye and put the eye of Vecna in her head, and he ended up cutting off his hand and putting the hand of Vecna on one of his hands, and they both became chaotic evil characters, and I lost my ranger status and became something else entirely. It was a hell of a fun campaign. Renfell's character got this he could basically, I think we called it, I can't remember what we called the terminology, but he could, like, once a day, he could basically turn into this Balrog-like creature, and when he did so, it would do like 10d6 damage to anyone within like a 30-foot radius. And there was one particular scene where we were going up against, I forget what the characters were, but I basically was at the top of this tower, and I jumped off the roof, and I was aiming for this church building below, and went like hurtled through the ceiling down into the floor into the middle of like 40 paladins. I think we're back now. Now for do. YouTube issue or not. It's Friday night. There might be some saturation here with the internet. I'm gonna do a speed test real quick just to double check. It's probably the internet because it's Friday night. We'll see. Ooh, I have mail. There's an Idlewild. Idlewild. I know who that is. I like the wreath on your character, Misha. Not gonna lie, that's a cute ass hobbit. Oh my god. The Batman theme song. Alright, we're definitely seeing some issues with the uploads, so it's the internet for sure, so it works.
Hello.
Alright, can you hear me?
Sure can.
My internet's being cranky tonight, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, you're going in and out, actually.